Welcome back. So in our earlier videos, we have already covered inner join and full outer join. And in this video, we'll be covering the concept of left outer join. If you remember, in case of full outer join, it checked each row one by one in the left table, and then it checked each row along with against each row in the right table, and then populated the data. Once the left row was completed, the SQL cursor, it moved ahead and compared each row of table 2 with table 1 and then populated it. What happens in case of a left outer join is that it goes row by row for table 1 and compares against table 2 and populates. In case the data is not there, or the comparison factor is not there in the table 2, it will still pick that value from the left table and populate the data accordingly on the right table as null. However, it will stop the moment it traverses all the way through table 1. So in this case, in this example, if I am comparing table 1, that is the left table, with table 2 on the field that is T1C3 and T2C1, and I'm extracting the values of T1C1, T1C2, and T1C3, and T2C1 and T2C2, then this is a table I'll end up with. And as I'm comparing it in a left outer join, let's see what the value would be. As mentioned earlier, SQL would go line by line. So first of all, it will pick up this line and then see the presence, how many times it is present on the right table. So if you see A is present only once, so it will paste it here and it will populate this for the first row. Then it will go ahead for row number 2 of table 1 and see if how many times B is present here. So if you see here, B is present only once. So it will paste it only once, and the value from this table, that is T1, T2C1 and T2C2, will be copied and pasted here. Then it will further move ahead to the third row, that is the one with the value as C, and then it will check how many occurrences are there. Only one occurrence is there. Picks this up, pastes it. Then goes to column D, row number 4, where the value is D, and it checks how many times it is there. D is present once and twice. It is present twice, so it will populate twice. First one, it will take this value, and second one, it will take these two values, and it pastes here. Same thing happens for E, which is occurring twice. So it pastes here, and this one. Yeah. Then column F, sorry, the row with value F. F is occurring twice. Happened here once, and twice. Then it further moves to column the one with value I. I is present only once, populates here. Yeah. Then comes M and N. So if you see M is not present here, so it copies it, pastes it here, and in the value that is on the right side, it will populate it as null. Okay. And same thing happens with N, and it populates null. Then it further moves ahead, goes for A, the one with A. A occurs only once, so this value comes in. B and C both occur only once, so I'll just copy both of them together, paste them here, and here B and C are these ones pasted here. Then comes D, and D is present twice, so D is present twice, and these are the values that come out here. So in total, you see there would be 17 records here. Let's see how it happens in pgadmin. The way we write a query for left outer join is exactly the same as we write it for an inner join or for a full outer join. I'll just simply copy this, this query that we had for full outer join, where I'm saying that from the left table, that is table 1, pick T1C1, T1C2, and T1C3. From the right table, that is table 2, pick T2C1 and pick T2C2. This is one way of writing it, where you say that from table 1 is the left side and table 2 is the right side. If you want to make it even more intuitive for your case, you can write it this way also. So this tells me that table 1 is on the left side and table 2 is on the right side. And let me run this query and see how many records are there. If you see, 23 records are affected and 23 records have come up because I am still at full auto join. What I do in case of a left auto join is that I just simply change full auto join to left auto join. I copy this and then run it, 17 records. I copy all the rows here by clicking on this and I go back to my Excel. Here, I would paste the values here and then see if everything is fine or not. Here you see I had 17 records as per my earlier prediction analysis, and here also we've got 17 records, isn't it? Now let's compare the rows here. Is this the same or not? As we did earlier with Excel, I'll just, we know that the combination of all these five is unique. And similarly, the combination of all these five is unique. That means this five as a combination won't repeat in this entire table at all. We'll do that again and we'll check it out. So for that, we'll be using concatenate function, where I select these five records. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just cut and paste it here, and I say is equals to concatenate this one, comma this one, comma this one, this one, and this one, and I see this is the output that I got. In case you want to learn more about Excel, you can always check out the tutorial series that I have on Excel. Here, let me see the number of times each one is present in this column, and 4, comma this one, and here you see that each one is unique. That is, nothing is repeated. I copy this one and paste it here again, and here you see nothing is repeated. Now, one thing that I want to check here is that these two values are empty, so I'll populate them as null, null, and I populate this one as null as well. Here you see these are all unique. Now let's see if the outputs are matching or not. This one I copy and I paste it here as values, and I copy this and paste it here as values again, and I sort this one by going to data, sort, current selection, sort, done, and this thing, sort, current selection, sort, and done. And let me check if these two match or not. Here you see, in total there were 17 records and each one is matching. So this is how a left outer join works, where SQL goes for each row in the left table one by one by one, and then compares the combining column or the comparison column with the right table and populates the data. One more thing that I want to tell you about a left outer join. In this case, or another way of populating it is by comparing against a full outer join. If you remember, this was the output of a full outer join, isn't it? Now, if I see that these rows were not there in the left table, so these rows will be ignored and only these values will be picked up. This is the output of a left outer join. So left outer join, similar to how inner join was, is a subset of full outer join. Now let's check this out. I copy these values, if they are there, if that's the matching output or not, and I go to the right and I paste it here as values, and then I sort it out, data sort, and I sort it out, and then I compare if this equals to this or not. And here, if you see, all of them matched. So this brings us to the end of the tutorial on left auto join. See you next time on right auto join. Thank you.